Ready? All right, guys. So we're going to first talk about 5 simple steps to achieve your goal. Okay? And when you get your client for the onboarding process, when you do your one-on-one strategy, essentially this should already be figured out before they're a client. This is what the directors are doing with the prospects, trying to find out what they want, when they want it, how they want it, all those things. However, you're going to need to know these skills because you may be the one interviewing the prospect. And also when you're doing goal setting with them month after month, you need to have these skills to get that goal out of them, to extract that information. Okay? And the better you understand this, the better it's going to translate to them. And then ultimately that's going to lead to more clarity. All right, so let's talk about it. Step 1, know what you want to do. Pretty easy, right? So if you see there, I have, be specific with the goal, know what you look like when you are at that goal, where it's at. So let's say it's a weight loss goal. I'll use an easy one. Let's say I'm 250 pounds and I want to get down to 200 pounds. And today is what, the 11, 17, 17. So I want to weigh 50 pounds lighter or be 200 pounds on 4, 17, 18. Okay? And then you guys are together going to fill in the gaps in between. But the more specific they can be, the more they can articulate their thoughts, chances are the more it's embedded in their head to make this a reality because they've thought about it over and over. They've thought about what their life is, how they're going to get there. Or maybe they haven't, and that's going to be you asking them questions, well, how are we going to get there? Because it's easy for you, oh yeah, exercise 5 days a week, follow this macro plan, go to bed, wake up. But if they have 1,000 kids and no husband or no wife, and they work 100 hours a day and a 24-hour day, they're going to be the one who's telling you how that it's going to happen, and then you're going to consult them from there. Okay? So step 1 is to get as specific as possible and know exactly what it looks like. Now, if you also notice at the end I have a punishment and reward. It doesn't necessarily have to look that way, but in the past we found that people like to people would like to reward themselves when they lose weight. With what?
Seems like usually
food. Food. So it's not a bad idea to help construct a reward for them for something that would complement their transformation. That, I remember when we started doing that, I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense. Instead of saying, oh, I haven't had pizza in 6 months, so reward pizza. Listen, if somehow that happens, but you're not the one saying, yeah, let's go get that pizza. Let's go put you in a relapse. All right, let's go have that Bang energy drink. Congratulations. If it happens, it happens, and that's not attacking you. That's all the caffeine addicts out there. And then a punishment too. What's a good punishment? Who everyone here has been at least a kid, maybe not a parent in the room, and as a child, you knew that if you didn't get your chores done or your bed made or whatever, there was some pain to come, right? Or something, maybe not physical pain, but there was some type of punishment that was involved, and it wasn't worth not having it done. Well, I think you can inspire people basically by 2 ways. You can inspire them because they want to, they're excited about the path they're on, which is ideally what we're doing, right? We're trying to map out a strategy so they know they can achieve their goals and take ownership in it, right? But the other one is, hey, Susie, you don't get it done. I don't know if we're going to do spankings, but, no spankings. And the punishment isn't something you're going to do to them. It's maybe they don't get something for a week, or it could be something.
Burpees.
Yeah, it could be burpees. You could make it a fitness one. Hey, all right, 50 burpees if you do not hit your goal. Or it would be relative to the person's fitness level if you're going to do it. I think I had a person sing the national anthem before. I know I've done it. I think I've had to sing the national anthem before. You can have them do a funny video post, anything that's like not gonna harm somebody. But really, the punishment should come from the client, and it's got to be something meaningful to them. It can't be just like you come up with a goofy thing that has no meaning. It's got to be meaningful to them, and it's got to be something painful enough that it's going to inspire them to come through on their word that you guys agreed upon. Actually, that they told you and you're facilitating. So just to recap, step 1, identify exactly what you want, when you want it, what you look like, what's the environment, is it the scale that they're weighing in on in their bedroom? They're like, yes. Is it at VIP or whatever? What are they wearing when they do it? How do they look that weekend when they're all done up, looking their best? Get them to see that. Okay? And then, mapping out a reward and a punishment system they come up with that's not too infringing on anything or unprofessional, and it's got to be meaningful. And then they gotta do it. Whatever they say. Here's the important thing is whatever you say you're going to do, you have to do. And same with them. So no matter what you guys agree upon, no matter what plans, you cannot back on you have to be strong on your own 2 legs for your foundation, right? Hey, this is what we mean business here. And they have to do the same. It has to be reciprocal. Okay, step 2. Why do I want it? Onion analogy. Everyone's seen Shrek here? Or heard of the famous saying, ogres are like onions, they have layers. Okay, I have layers now. So I don't have the diagram here. I got the Black Friday deal diagram, but let's just say I got a big circle, and then there's a layer, another big circle, and you can draw this out on your sheet of paper with them. You don't even have to tell them why, and then you ask them, well, why do you want this? And chances are most people aren't going to be like, well, Emily, guess what? Blah, 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 and tell you all the details. You're going to have to ask questions. Why do you want that? Well, okay, cool. Why do you want that? Okay, cool. Why do you want that? Okay, cool. 9 out of 10 times, people don't know what they're running towards, but they know what they're running from. And the more clarity they have, the more they know what they're running towards. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So a lot of the people you're going to see, they can't necessarily say, or I don't say they can't, but they're typically not going to say, well, I've been 200 pounds overweight my whole life, let's just say, and 1 year after working at VIP here with you, Emily, I plan on being in a string bikini contest, and I'm going to look this way. Very small people are going to know exactly what they're working towards. Now, I don't think most people are even working towards winning a string bikini contest, but it sounded fun, cool, and silly, so I use that for an example. But what they do know is, listen, see this block of a person? Well, that physically how I look is how I feel about my life and my relationships and everything. And regardless of what other people tell me, this is how I feel. How do I get out of here? So that's usually your starting point with people. So realize that. And so when you're asking questions, don't question them to death on, well, what exactly, if they can't tell you what they look like at the finish line, then change the script a little bit and say, okay, well, that's pretty good, whatever the information they've given you so far towards what they want. Well, why did you actually come in here again? Like, is there something that you don't want that you don't like, or some experience, some event, something that triggered you to care so much? Because then you ask questions like that, like, what was there an event or some trigger or some experience you had, in the past that made you feel this way? Have you been picked on before or judged or anything make you feel upset, or fearful or something like that? You start asking questions in that line. In our strategy, we're attacking, not physically attacking or verbally attacking, but we're attacking what are they running from. And when you start going down that road, you're going to get a little bit more response. And then it goes back to, well, how did that make you feel and why? How did that make you feel and why? And once they can't tell you any more details and you really get to the talking, them mentioning it made me feel this way, makes me feel sad, I don't feel respected, Feelings and emotions are different things. I like to look at emotions are, fearful or sad. Like those are just things that we all feel, but what causes us to feel that way? Maybe we were disrespected. Or that what caused that emotion because we felt disrespected. I kind of said it out of order here. But, people that are proud people, take myself. I'm super understanding that we all have come from different pathways. And when Emily has a certain situation, or Patty, or whoever I'm talking to, I gotta understand, listen, they don't have my lens. I don't have their lens. I need to hear their story. I need to try to get on board with them because they have a unique route to how they got there, and you have to be compassionate with these people. But like most people, including myself, will all agree that if they feel disrespected, it puts them in this fight mode. So you gotta just really, really be compassionate for people. Keep asking them why. When you get to a roadblock, what do you want? Realize that that's probably normal. Maybe change your questioning. Ask them how good it would. You could even ask them how good would it feel to be at your goal. But once again, if someone isn't even 100% certain, then start asking them, well, why did you come in here again? Like almost play, I was going to say play blind, but that's a kind of an old saying, I used to be blonde, so I guess I can't say that anymore because I don't look blonde. I don't have much hair in my head anymore, but you get what I'm saying. Play, not blonde, but play like, you know what? I'm sorry, so I have more clarity. What was the reason specifically you came in then? Because I need more help with that. Was there something that's causing you to run from or an event that triggered this? Keep in mind that you should be aiming for you having clarity on why they're there, and they should leave when you're doing a goal planning with them. They should leave feeling they have full clarity. If you've done that, you've done your job. That's 100% academic grade. Now, because we're such emotional beings, and every day we learn new stuff, so we may change our mind, keep in mind that you're going to have to keep maintaining clarity, and that's the tough part, because people get new ideas, and they start getting confused. So you got to get reconnected with clarity on a regular basis with these people. So every 4 weeks, maybe sooner. If you notice they're weighing in and their weight's not going in the direction, or you notice their tone when they're coming in the gym, they seem real sad, Obviously, if someone's sad, it's going to be harder for them to hit their goal. Maybe pull them in the office and say, hey, can you chat for a second? What's going on? Okay.